I invited you right here so that you can tell me something and tell us something. But I don't want you to do that on your own. I want Sauda Simba, who is like the chairperson of the Femina Hip board, to join you. Yeah? Wengine wanamfahamu dada Sauda kwa kutoka kwenye muktadha mwingine, mwenye vipaji vingi sana huyu. Tukabahatika kuwa naye kama mwenyekiti wetu wa bodi ya Femina. Nawakaribisha sana. Asante sana. Mwenyekiti wa bodi ya Femina dada Sauda Simba na mkurugenzi wa Femina Dr. Minu Fugle sana. How do you feel being here this morning?
As usual, it's exciting and my heart is full to the brim of happiness to see all our Kema youth clubbers with their teachers and mentors from all over the country. And this is the 13th time that we organize the youth conference. It has become a huge event, and I know that all of you are waiting for this opportunity to participate in the youth conference. It is a grand opportunity for all of you to come together, to meet each other, to discuss and learn, and to come to Dar es Salaam and get exposure. And it is again an honor to be here with all of you who are so committed and so engaged in the work that Femina is doing across the country in secondary schools. Hongera!
Moyo wako unabubujikwa na furaha. Unajua kama ingekuwa kikombe kinamwagika. Au kikapu anasema unatikisa tikisa unaongeza tena. Asante sana. Yeah, Sauda.
Sauda, what do you think?
Jamani, nilipoingia hapa, yani mwili mzima ukasisimuka.
Nywele leo vinasimama.
Kama sasa hivi, yani na feel vibrations. Unajua mimi mtu wa culture sana. Kwa hiyo naamini kwamba hata mababu zetu, babu zetu wako hapa.
Makofi tafadhali.
That's why nakisikia hivi. Hapo asubuhi nikavaa red and black. Wala sikujua unaona?
Amkuwa red and black.
Kuongea wala jana. Lakini tuko aligned. Na nyie wote mko aligned. Nyie wote mko aligned. Kwa sababu nyie ndio future ya nchi hii. Na kupitia mpango wetu tunaibua leaders. You are the leaders, honestly. Kwa sababu nimeona kazi ambazo mmezifanya, nikiangalia jarida lenu na shangaa kwamba mnaweza kutoka na kufanya vitu vikubwa kama hivi, na ninajua nakabidhi hii mifuko yetu na nini kwa watu kama nyie. We are okay, we feel safe, we feel secure. Tunajua kwamba mtatupeleka kule mbele. I know you guys have done amazing work and will continue to do amazing work. Now we're just excited to be here on this day. Na nashukuru sana kwamba Mwenyezi Mungu ancestors wameniwezesha kuwa part of this big family.
You know, my next question was going to be, what do you have to tell them? But you told them already. You're preempted.
Well, I'm sorry. You know, I'm walking with ancestors. They tell me.
You know, they tell me where to go. Thank you. Asante sana Dr. Minu Fugle. Asante sana mwenyekiti wetu wa bodi. Thank you for those kind welcoming remarks. And I would like to introduce the other people also who are on the table as you see.
Licha kwenye hii sherehe sababu ni kitu muhimu sana na mnatuhamasisha sisi sana kuona nyinyi nyote mnapokuja pamoja kufanya hivi. Mimi naitwa Sabrina Egela, nafanya kazi kwenye nafanya kazi kwenye embassy ya Sweden kama mtu kwenye idara ya political affairs na trade promotion, na niko na wenzangu hapa tumekuja kusupport hii sherehe. Asante sana.
My name is Mambo. Ni afisa miradi balozi wa Sweden. Na I'm very lucky kwamba mimi ndo program officer wa Femina.
Wow.
I'm very excited to be part of Femina.
Asante sana.
Mimi ni Mama Andersson. Nimefanya kazi hier miaka 40 iliyopita. In the Swedish embassy, and I used to deal with education. I'm very happy to see that the Femina clubs are so many and so strong now. And I'm here because I'm also chairperson of JIFUNZE Trust Sweden, supporting the Barbara School. And I'm collecting money for poor girls to be able to attend secondary education. For me to be with you here today, but I'm just a guest, so now I think the main person is the present ambassador. I used to be ambassador also, but no longer.
Karibu sana. We would like you to come and say a few words. And this is a microphone for you.
Assalamu alaikum. It's really good to be here. And so great to see you all. What an energy, what an inspirational moment, I think, for all of us who come here and visit you. So good to be here.
Furaha iliyoje jamani, au sio? Kubwa sana. Karibu sana. So, we've been gathering here for the this is the 4th day we've been here. And we've been talking a lot of things. We've been learning, we've been sharing. But as you can see on the banner behind you, it says dunia kiganjani mwako, cheza salama. Dunia kiganjani mwako translates to the world in your palms. The world in your palm. You can see I have the world on my palm. I have the world on my palm. So we're talking digitalization. But at the same time, we are talking about, being safe along the route of digitalization. You are an ambassador. When we look at you, we think, he's an ambassador. He knows everything. He doesn't have any problems with digitalization. How does digitalization work with you as an ambassador?
Thank you very much, and thank you again for inviting me. It's such a big honor for me to be with all of you here today, so I'm very thankful for your invitation.
Makofi tafadhali. Shukrani sana kwa kumwalika. Nashukuru sana kualikwa.
So, digitalization, communication is something that is so important to all of us. It's very important for us as diplomats, but it's equally important for you as Femina club leaders. So, what I wanted to discuss with you here today is about communication, is about how we use the social platforms, the digital platforms in our everyday work. And I want to say that, I'm BC.
Before computer, right?
Before computer, yeah.
But not really. I don't agree with that. And so I don't have the computer.
And I think most of you were born after computer, right? AC, yeah. And I'm also before smartphone. And most of you are at least contemporary with smartphone. And all these gadgets are changing our lives, literally. So if you imagine an ambassador only 20 years ago, we were sending cables, they called it cables. We were sending telegrams from our faxes.
Yes,
Texts.
it has to be decoded.
Yeah, it has to be. We need to use typewriters to send our messages back to headquarters. It was very much a communication between headquarters and the embassy, and less communication with the outside world like this. But of course, this has now changed completely in the new digitalized world. So we have to adopt and adjust. So I see a lot of similarities here between diplomacy and the kind of work that you do. So every day when I wake up, or every Monday when I plan the week, or every beginning of the month or the year when I plan my month or year, I have to think through with whom should I communicate, when should I communicate, and how should I communicate. And is that also right for you? And when you think of your communication, I just want to see.
Yeah, I just want to add like a cue a little bit to your question before the answer.
Yeah.
We've been learning about the 5 W's and H, both in the teachers' sessions and the students' sessions. What, where, when, how, who. And I think when they respond, they will think about that as well.
Yeah.
Anasema yeye katika mawasiliano yake amezaliwa kabla ya kompyuta, lakini sasa amefika muda ambao lazima atumie digital communication na yeye. Kwa hiyo anazungumza zaidi mawasiliano. Anauliza yeye akiamka asubuhi anafikiria nitawasiliana na nani, wapi, lini, niwasiliane naye vipi. Sasa na nyinyi huwa mnayawaza hayo mambo? Anataka majibu, tuwape mic. Anataka kujibu tumpe, au unaweza kaongea tutasikia. Yeyote ambaye anaweza kanyosha mkono akisema mambo haya mimi na mimi huyafikiria wakati nataka kuwasiliana na ninayafikiriaje. Mikono iko wapi jamani? Mikono imepotea yote. Vijana maua? Popote uchanua. Na mikono ichanue basi.
Ile kule.
Sauti yako.
Sema na fema.
Sema na fema.
Paza sauti yako.
Si ndio Kiingereza.
Itakuwa vizuri tu.
Okay. I really think about what my uncle there asked me. When I wake up in the morning, I take that chance to think out how am I going to communicate with others. Especially when I wake up in the morning, I really wish to communicate with my aunt because I love her. Take care of me, giving me each and everything about school issues. So I really think when I wake up in the morning, that's what I have. Thank you.
Thank you. I've been told it's, in schools, they're not allowed to have mobile phones. So maybe that's a little bit of a hurdle in the way.
Yeah.
Lakini kwa namna yoyote ile, kuna computer, kuna vitu vingine ambavyo sio simu. It doesn't have to be a smartphone. It doesn't have to be a phone. It can be a computer. It can be. Digitalization is huge. It's wide. Lakini walimu hapo pia humo ndani. We have 53 teachers in the audience and 106 students. Yes. Yes. So, but the teachers have smartphones. So the teachers can also respond. Kuna mikono kule. Tuongee tu jamani.
Wife who is living together with me here in Dar es Salaam, and I want to communicate with my children and parents that are back in Sweden. So maybe I use a digital platform, WhatsApp or telephone or something to communicate with them. That's important for me. In my everyday work, I also need to find different ways of communicating. It could still be that I write a paper to Stockholm, my capital, and report about things that I want to report about from Tanzania. But it could also be that I talk with my colleagues, with Virginia, with Sabrina, about what should we communicate about Sweden today in Tanzania. And we might have something that we would like to share about training exercises, scholarships in Sweden that we would like to offer. But it could also be something that we would like to communicate very serious issues about how we take care of waste management in Sweden that we would like to share with the Tanzanian audience. And then, of course, a digital platform is superb. You can post it on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, on our websites. So that's one way of communicating. And by just pressing one click, we can reach millions of people.
True that. By just clicking one button, you can reach millions of people.
Yeah.
Matumizi yake hayatofautiani sana za familia kwanza, lakini pia kazi. Kama balozi ana wajibu wa kuzungumza nini kinatokea katika nchi yake ya Sweden, lakini pia kwa sababu anawakilisha Sweden nchini Tanzania, lazima pia azungumze kuhusu Tanzania, lazima wasiliane na wenzake alionao ofisini. Kina Sabrina na Virginia kwa mfano. Lakini pia anaweza kaandika ujumbe akautuma kwa email, anaweza kautuma kwa WhatsApp, anaweza kautuma kwa Facebook, na mara moja ujumbe ule unafikia watu wengi sana kwa kadiri atakapokuwa amechagua. Yep.
So that's one way. We want to spread the word. We want to have, share our thinking around certain things. But sometimes you also want to zungumza in a smaller group. It could be within the office. We need to discuss with each other. It could be with diplomatic colleagues. It could be with Femina Club. It could be with a Swedish company here. Then we might not use the digital platforms. Then we meet in a room like this and zungumza.
Kwa hiyo muhimu sana hiyo. Tunatembea na hivi vitu kila siku, lakini tunasahau kwamba bado tunahitaji kuonana uso kwa uso. That's why we have the youth conference actually, because we meet on our SMS platform, we meet on our mentors page on Facebook, lakini bado tunahitaji kuonana uso kwa uso kwa sababu na yenyewe ina umuhimu wake. Yeah.
So what you can do in this type of setting, like you have a room here, you can build a lot of trust among each other. You can build confidence. You can discuss things that you might not normally discuss in a more open setting. And you can share secrets, you can share confident information, and you can network. You can learn from people from different parts of Tanzania, people that you maybe haven't met before, and you can learn more about their methods and how you work as a Femina Club. So that's a different type of communication. It's more in a closed session.
That's what we've been doing right here for the last 3 days.
Yeah.
Building trust among each other. Tunaaminiana jamani, Tumejenga kuaminiana, tumejenga kuthaminiana, tumejenga kushirikishana na kujaribu kufundishana na kupeana uzoefu kutoka sehemu mbalimbali za Tanzania. Very important. When we meet as a small group, tuaminiane ili tuweze kujua nani unamwambia kitu cha muhimu fulani, nani unamwambia siri yako. Kwa sababu tukikaa pamoja tunakuwa vizuri zaidi, tunaonana uso kwa uso.
So I think that's very important to have both the big platforms where you can instantly share with millions. If I communicate something in English, potentially I can reach billions of people because there are more than 1 billion people speaking English. If I communicate in Kiswahili, I will at least reach 100 or 200 million people. So you can select what kind of audience you would like to communicate with.
The choice of language is also very important. Yeah. Kiswahili, Kiingereza, nataka kutumia lugha gani? Nachagua nani nataka kumfikia. Au sio?
The other thing that I also would like to raise is about respect. How we treat each other. It could be in the room, in an ordinary setting like this. You meet in a conference for a few days. But of course, we always treat each other with respect. And the same thing goes when you are online. That you must treat other people with respect. And one of the things I see in my country, in Sweden, we see a lot of hate on the internet. A lot of hate on social media platforms, rude, nasty comments about people. And of course that is not okay. It's not okay when we meet family, friends and colleagues and club colleagues from other parts of Tanzania. It's not okay here, and it's not okay when you're online.
Heshima. Heshima wanasema ni nini? Kwa Kiswahili ile methali inasemaje? Heshima ni kitu cha bure, hainunuliwi heshima. So kuheshimiana, tunaheshimiana tunapokutana uso kwa uso, lakini anasema hata mitandaoni maisha ni yale yale. Kuheshimiana ni vizuri sana. Mfano anachoona nchini kwao Sweden, anaona chuki. Watu wanafanyiana, wanatukanana mitandaoni. Watu wanafanyiana ukatili mitandaoni. Na hili si swala zuri.
So that is something that we always have to keep in mind. And sometimes it could be very difficult because you might misunderstand someone. And if you're in the same room, you can maybe easily sort it out and apologize and so forth. But when you're out there on the social platforms, it might be difficult to really, to get it right.
Yeah. Kama tukutana ni rahisi, nitakuomba radhi. Si nimekosea sasa hivi nitakuomba radhi, lakini mtandaoni hatuonani. Nitakuomba radhi saa ngapi? Unaweza usione radhi yangu.
Another thing that we work a lot with is, checking facts. There's a lot of disinformation, a lot of conspiracies out on the internet. And again, disinformation, conspiracies could be used to spread the false information, and it could be very viral and dangerous if we get these things wrong. So to check the facts, and what you see is not always true because it comes on a social platform or on the social media platform. So checking facts and go back and ask yourself, where does this information come from, is absolutely key.
Yeah, I'm so happy that you refer to that, because that has been one of the most important things that we have underlined in the new issue of the magazine that we've been reading and discussing, and the FEMA clubs will get copies in school and they will continue to discuss that. Swala la kujua kwamba si kila kitu kilichoandikwa mtandaoni ni cha kweli. Najua kila mtu anaandika, lakini vitu vingine si vya kweli, vinapotosha, na ni vizuri sana kujua kwamba ninaamini nini na ni nini nisikiamini. Ziko mbinu mbalimbali. We talk about that in the magazine, and we face, if you can say that.
Yeah. And it is becoming increasingly difficult, because as diplomats, as members of society, many people expect that we should react almost instantly on the news coming up, and everything is going faster and faster, and then it becomes even more difficult to do the fact checking.
Right.
So my final point would be on human rights. And of course we have the International Convention on Human Rights, which was accepted by almost every country on this planet many years ago. And if we look at the internet again, it's also important to underscore that the human rights is as important as offline as they are online. So they are equally valid offline and online, and all countries in the world, this is something that we have all signed up to. So human rights comes both with opportunities and also with responsibilities. But I want to underscore that this is something that should apply both online and offline.
Sawa. Si haki ya mtu iliyoko nje ya mtandao iko pia ndani ya mtandao, kwa sababu maisha yale tunayoyaishi huku ndo yale tunayapeleka mtandaoni. Uongo? Nilifikiri mtajibu uongo. Ukweli. Yale maisha, haki ambazo tunazizingatia nje ya mtandao ndo zile tena tuzizingatia mtandaoni, kwa sababu kila mtu ana haki ya kushiriki katika hii teknolojia yanayotupeleka mahali pengine tofauti. Kila mtu ana haki ya kushiriki katika safari hii ya digitalization, na kila mtu ana haki ya kupewa haki yake anayoistahili. Kwa hiyo tukihamisha kutoka kwenye maisha yetu ya nje ya mtandao, tunaibeba mpaka ndani ya mtandao, na tunaenda nayo namna hiyo. Kuheshimiana, kuvumiliana, kupendana, yote hayo yapo.
So these are some of my reflections. Do you have more questions?
Well, I think you kind of you did like Sauda. You kind of preempted some of my questions. Yes, but I appreciate that. Yeah. I'm not mad. Yeah. I appreciate that.
Okay.
Yeah. So.